a group of schools get together for the collective benefit of all students in their schools.
It's a whole new way of approaching the differences in levels of student achievement, both within schools and across schools.
It's really all about schools throughout the sector, from preschool right through to secondary, working collaboratively for positive student outcomes.
It is a fantastic concept in terms of schools working together to solve a number of common achievement challenges that occur in our schools.
We've gone from me and my school to us and our network or our community. For us, our community of learning includes 11 schools and 1 early childhood centre, and we have over 8,000 students in our network. We made a decision right at the very start that we would be middle-led, which means that those teachers that have been appointed as in-school teachers or leaders in our schools are making the decisions about the progress and the action that's going to be taken to meet our achievement challenges.
A model which is driven from the middle rather than the top, where classroom teachers are given leadership roles to work with their peers to identify what are the achievement challenges within our schools and how can we best address these.
We actually have 14 in-school positions. That gives us a good amount of scope for people to work across the 5 achievement challenges. And those teachers are leaders because this is a leading from the middle model, and so those teachers, for instance, are leading a professional learning group each within our school, and that just becomes a natural part of our professional development program.
One of the most important aspects in terms of growing our school is the effect that the collective wisdom of teachers across the ACCOS will have on our student achievement in terms of providing us with more clarity and a richer range of ideas in terms of how we can develop our students in relation to their various achievement challenges of the ACCOS.
Layered on top of that, we have our cross-school teachers, and we have 9 of them, and they support the work of the in-school teachers. So the cross-school teachers span the whole community across all 11 schools, providing guidance, providing support, pulling threads together, looking at big data pictures, and certainly having that contact and liaison with the principals.
Really major benefit of this is that teachers in different sectors are starting to talk about the students that they pass from one sector to the other as time goes by. Not a lot of this has happened in the past, and I think they're listening to each other and they're learning from each other. It's an opportunity too for teachers to query and to change their practice and to share that best practice with a group of schools.
And then of course you have principals who are involved, and we meet regularly every fortnight to just check on progress, see what's happening, and to make some informed decisions that will support the work of the in-school leaders.
As part of our work for ACCOS, we of course are looking at 5 achievement challenges, and they cover some very important areas. A key one is writing, another key one is transition.
So we've done a lot of work within our charter goals and as a school, focusing around that, but with a real emphasis around moving across our schools and hearing and sharing practice. And I guess that's the key thing around all this, is around what are we collectively doing that's going to make a difference for all our students.
A particular challenge to really know the learner and to be able to listen to the learner before they make that transition into secondary schooling.
Obviously, most schools are used to looking at their own school data, so from a school of 700, data is fairly easy to look at, and now we're moving to looking at data for 8,000 children and having that collective responsibility of what that data looks like.
There are a number of challenges in the model because for many years now we've worked within a self-management model where schools have been competing with the students, and now we're being asked to collaborate with each other.
As part of the transition process from intermediate to high school, ANI set up a social group with Māori and Pacifica students from EGS and Māori Pacifica students from ANI. So the group basically just talked about the, transitioning to Epsom girls, and they basically just made us more comfortable moving to high school.
So the community schools have an overall achievement plan, and we set up a strategic objective under that covers reading and writing, and the teachers work in separate PLG groups looking at different ways to achieve this along with the students as well.
So basically in our community of learning we have professional learning groups, which are groups of teachers that are trying to make learning better for students and more enjoyable for students. They look at data throughout the community of schools, and then they'd gather that and get students to help them, tell them what they can do to make learning better.
We've looked particularly around student agency and making sure or ensuring that we've got the systems and the procedures and the expectations from our students and our staff for students to be able to do that talk around their reading and writing pathways, around what we're looking at in terms of transition, particularly for our Year 8 students and that move through into secondary school.
And finally, just rounding up, I guess one of the biggest things we've learned is that you really have to be very comfortable with being uncomfortable. There is a lot of chaos, but out of that chaos comes a lot of clarity.